Good morning. Right, we're starting our walk for YouTube. The daffodils are coming out, so it's the 2nd of March. So it was St David's Day yesterday, and we're starting at Bridge 63 on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. So come on, Norman, let's go. Here's some molehills. If you get these on your lawn, don't be tempted to nick the soil, because just do that until you see the grass coming through and let it lie where it is, and the grass will grow through it and it keeps the soil there. If you nick this soil, your lawn will start getting drops in it. Now there is stuff you can get for moles, but I love them. So right, sticky bobs. You've heard of dandelion and burdock? This is burdock, and these are sticky bobs, and they're designed to skip the nature's Velcro, full of seeds. They're designed to stick to humans and dogs' fur, and then fall off and spread the seeds everywhere. Now, apparently, if you're a forager, then don't take anything I say for red. Look it up. But apparently, the root of dandelion and burdock is good to eat. It's full of sugar, but that's where they make the dandelion and burdock from. It's the root. Rubber gloves, it's still sticking to them. I'm not thrown it yet. This is where we are. Red Rock, looked after by the Canal and Rivers Trust. I think it's the longest canal in Great Britain. And it started off in somewhere around Parbold. And they set off going towards Liverpool and then ran out of money at Parbold. And then they were coming back, they were coming from Leeds. And then they ran out of money and they stopped building it for 10 years. And then they were always going to build a spur into Wigan, but after 10 years they decided it was even better idea to go through Wigan and not go to Preston, because there was more need for coal than there was for limestone. So they changed the route, luckily. So it was a good job it ran out of money and stopped for 10 years. So they changed the route and went through it. So what was going to be a spur turned into the proper Leeds-Liverpool Canal. So it was really good for Leeds. It also got all the cotton into Wigan for all the cotton mills. It was great for the steel industry. It was great for Liverpool because they got all the coal, we got all the cotton. It was just a win-win. And Lancashire is so cold and damp, it's a perfect place to weave cotton and make fabric. Love seeing this, sign of spring. Look at them big fat leaf buds there. Now this is last year's shoot, so this will be this year's shoot, which will get the fruits on, and you can see it grows a spur off the last year's shoot. That was the flower and they were all the fruits. So again, as I've said before, in the garden it's a bramble and it could be classed as a weed. Out here it's a wildflower and a great form of food for the animals. Oh, look at that, Bob. Great big cluster of oaky balls. Talked about that in the last video. Where's your stick, Norman? Get your stick. That's not your stick. Right, if you see this leaf, it's a member of the carrot family. You see carrot tops in supermarkets. Now, carrot family, I've got some of the nicest tasting plants, but they've also got some of the deadliest plants as well in the same family. So you've got things like giant hogweed and what is it called? Hemlock water dropwort, which is one of the most probably the most poisonous plants in Britain. So for new foragers, just say don't touch carrot until you know what you're doing. Here, another feat of engineering. This is a cast iron bridge again, all bolted together, over 100 years ago probably, and it went over a railway. So you've now got a canal going over a railway. But it's got. What are you doing down there, Norman? What are you doing? But it's got a bit of a leak on it, Bob. But look at how they use dressed stone. All dressed stone. All up. Look, and it's still looks as good as the day they built it. Norman, this way. Look at it. This way. Go get it. That way. This is what I can't understand, if anybody can tell me. We've got Liverpool 40 miles that way, but it's on the wrong side of the thing. You think if you're coming in a boat that way, you want to know it was Leeds. But it's not, it's Liverpool. They've seen mark them up wrong way around. Don't even tell you where Leeds is. Here, Tom. This is the pennywort, floating pennywort. Now you can see, because we've had a good winter, we've had some cold, it's actually done it a lot of damage. It's not killed it, it's still alive, it's going to come back, but at least it's not as healthy looking as it was. But it's starting to come back. So if you see this in the canal and you have a chance of hooking it out, please hook it out. It shouldn't be here. Brought here from Chile, put in the canal, and it's just gone mad in rivers, canals, ponds, everywhere. It's an absolute disaster. So, floating pennywort, get rid of it. Here we go. Forget me nots. Send me forget me nots. Right. This here was a place where when we was kids, we used to come fishing on this canal. Do you want this stick, Noah? Here. Hang on. Hang on. We used to come fishing on this canal, and there was a piece of fence post just sticking out at leaves. We couldn't even see it. There was a wrought iron fence along here. And my mate in the 70s had a snorkel jacket on and he had his hands in his pockets and he was winding my other mate up. So he got hold of him and threw him up leaves, thinking it's only soft leaves, he'll not hurt himself. Anyway, he started squeaking. We poked him, and this fence post, this metal piece of metal, was sticking out through leaves. We could have killed him. We could have maimed him for life. He could have been in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, but he didn't. He's all right. But just shows you how close you are sometimes with having a laugh and then impaling your friend on a fence. Good morning. All right. This has been fixed. Somebody's had a go at fixing it. We see the rope marks. All the barges were dragged along with horses for hundreds of years, and they were dragging, and all the ropes used to get grit on them and work like a chainsaw and saw through. So you could just imagine a horse coming through here, and it's rope dragging against every bridge, slowly sawing through it. But somebody's got some mortar and tried to fix it. But that one's, you still see that. So that's how old these bridges are. What bridge number are we on? 64. That's my age. Smell that coal on that fire, can't you? I think it's called Harley Hall, but this is the home of Wigan Golf Club, Harley Golf Club, and it's got a moat round it. Yeah. So there was once some people, even in George Orwell's time, had money in Wigan. We didn't all hang on ropes at night. Bob was just saying about hanging on a rope. I don't know if this is where the word hangover comes from, I'm not sure. But people were that poor, they used to pay a penny to go in a house at night, and they put like a clothesline up, and they used to sit on a bench and hang on a rope for a penny. And that was how poor some people were. You know the saying, I've not got a pot to, it's weeing, but they use a different word. Well, that comes to when they hadn't, people again were that poor, they used to wee in a pot and take it to tannery, and they used to use it for tanning leather, and they got some money from it. But if you're that poor, you didn't even have a pot to wee in, then you were poor. Oh, that's interesting, Bob, there. Can you see all them little bobbles on there? That's Taxus baccata, English yew. And those are like little male cones. And in a few weeks, you'll be able to flick them, and it'll be a dust of pollen coming off to pollinate the flowers. And I just think they're magical yew trees. They're really brilliant. But look at all them cones on there. The male pollen bearing cones, I think you call them, but they're basically male flowers. Don't knock me in. Don't get too excited. Nearly knocked me in there. No, he won't. I will. Here we are, Bob. This is that poisonous one I was telling you about. Here you go. Look at this. That's that hemlock water drop work coming up there. Looks very similar to celery, and it grows like celery, and then it gets a big flower on it. And it'll get to about this high, Bob. About that high, with flowers on, like a greeny flower. So if you see it, don't keep well away from it. I've even heard stories of dogs eating it, and it doesn't do them any good either. Now, I just noticed here, growing near it, is this. This is not for you, Norman. You see, it looks like an arrowhead. I'll find a better. Everyone gets this mixed up with dock leaf, but it's not. It's actually sorrel, and it's a good salad leaf. But again, make sure you know what you're eating before you eat it. It's very lemony. It's like a lemon salad. Very nice. He's not vicious. Yeah, he bites their ears and says, chase me. There you go. Oh, is that what it is? You can just about eat every part of this. I think you can eat the roots, you can eat the leaves, but it's the flowers. When it gets flowers on it, they taste like mushrooms, and you can put them in soups to give a mushroom flavour. But I've just noticed these little seedlings here. All these little, when a seed grows, they all start off with what they call a cotyledon. And what a cotyledon is, I'm sorry, little plant, but you have to die for science. There you go. All seedlings start off like that, and this is those seed leaves are called cotyledons. And then inside that, once the cotyledons have got above the soil, because they come up like that, then it starts turning into true leaf. Now, what these are seedlings of sticky willy, and it's that's a really good salad as well. Good eating, and it's good for making tea. It's supposed to be very good for you. But back to this longleaf plantain. It was originally taken over to America by the settlers, and they call it in America white man's footprint, because everywhere they settled, this grows still to this day, because it was such a useful herb. Now, another great thing it's good for, if you ever get bitten or stung, it's got loads of brilliant properties in it that you can make it into like a paste. It's very dry at the moment. When it's juicy, and you can rub it onto a bee sting or a bite or anything, it's got antibiotics and everything. So it's a heck of a useful plant. And I've just noticed here, Bob, see that polypo coming out at the bottom of that dead tree? There's two, one at the back and one here. I don't know if they're artist polypos, but there's another one coming up here, and the roots are dying, obviously. And there's another one coming up there, and another one there. So these are obviously the roots of that oak tree that's dead. Here we go. There you go. That's it. See that leaf there? This shiny leaf and a shiny little yellow flower. This is my first flower I found this spring. It's Lesser Celandine, and it's one of the first ones to flower. This one, Wood Anemone, Snowdrops, they all start coming up. Oh, and here, look at this. Another baby growing in the tree. I'm 99% certain that that is one called Jack by the Hedge or wild garlic. And the way to tell, if it smells of garlic, it's a form of garlic, or a mustard. And it's another name for it is wild mustard. But it's they can use that in salads as well. But I found out that anything that smells of garlic in the UK, you can eat, because it is a form of garlic. Oh, look at that ball, Norman. And the big Canadas. Do you know what I was saying before about bitch me on about baby dock leaves looking like what do I call it? It's gone out my head. I've just been eating down there. That's taste of lemon.
Sorrel.
Sorrel. Sorry. Well, look, it looks like sorrel. Well, that's dock. That's not edible. Right. Bob says you'll all know what a dandelion is. But what I like about dandelions is they overwinter in the roots, and then they come up like this rosette now. You can eat the leaves as a salad. You can eat, I think you can eat every part of a dandelion. But again, don't take my word for it. But what I like about them, as soon as the daffodils finish, you get carpets of dandelions. And I just think they're brilliant. I think they're probably better than daffodils. I love them. You know, I was talking about burls or burrs. I don't know which one it is. One's English, one's American. And I said they normally grow on birch trees. Look at that. It's full of them warty burrs or burls. I just looked at this here. It looks like a natural nest box. Got water in it. Just look like a nest box. You want a stick, Norm? Do you know what I keep saying about the heartwood of a tree is just basically there to support it, and it does take it does take water up, but it's the bark that's important. You see, the whole centre of that tree has died, but the bark is still alive and still trying to grow. So I don't know what's happened to that tree. It's been cut off and then ripped all the way down the middle there, but everything that's still attached to the roots is going to grow, it's going to put leaves on, it's going to photosynthesize, and it's going to survive. And that's another part of it. So it's still alive anyway, but just shows you. Interesting. Come on now. Oh, look at that one. Are you ready? Completely lost it. Wow, the size of that Butch polypore. Come on, Bob. I think that must be a record. Look at that, baby. Nice big Butch polypore eating that wood. They're all way down that one. And look at this one. All the way down this one as well. And there's hundreds on that one. I think they're polypores. Oh no, they're turkey tail. Been turned upside down. Look at them. Brilliant. Now, just noticed, I can find them. What's that? Oh, look. An elf cup. A scarlet elf cup mushroom. See if there's any more. Usually when you find one, you find more. I've just noticed here, Bob, this is something worth talking about. If I can get into it. Now I've just been talking about cotyledons, seed leaves. Well, this I don't mind killing. See them now? In a bit they'll start getting bigger leaves on, the true leaves. They're the dreaded Himalayan balsam. Now the thing is with them, they grow from seed, so it's not like other weeds where when you get them in your garden, they're in the soil and they just keep coming up. These have to grow from seed. They're a busy Lizzie. Beautiful flower, but they're just taking over the British countryside. This is the time to get the little monkeys and get a hoe or something and just chop the tops off now, and then you'll get another lot of seeds coming up. Chop them off again. Then you get another load. Chop them off again. Just keep going until every seed that was in the top centimetre of soil has germinated. Any that are deeper won't germinate. And then don't dig your soil over. Just fluff up the top centimetre like that and just stop anything growing. And eventually you'll have no Himalayan balsam in your garden. So that's a top tip, that. Now this other stuff here, bracken, this is brilliant for, I did one before Christmas about, I know some people say it causes cancer or something, but this is good for lining hanging baskets with. And it's also, I did one before Christmas about reeds, but I think it's the spores that are cancerous, and at this time of year I don't think there's any spores left, I don't think. But the bits of bracken that are left are ideal for lining your hanging baskets if you want a natural liner and not a plastic one. Here we go with these Himalayan balsam again. This is a nice specimen here. Now apparently these, again I'm going to research this, but I've heard that they're edible as well. And they taste like very spicy, and they use them in cooking. Doesn't taste that good. Here's one. It's called a hairy something or other. I'll find its name and I'll put it on the screen. But it looks very similar to turkey tail, but it's a different colour underneath. But it's still got on the top. You could, Norman, you could be mistaken for thinking it's a turkey tail, but that's the one. Completely different colour. In fact, we'll go back to that turkey tail and we'll show the two together. Now this one's been upside down, so it's gone very dark, but you can see it's got white edges and pure white underneath, so that's 100% turkey tail. That dog again. We've just found these in woods. Now normally when you find scratches like this, it's badgers digging for worms under leaf litter, I think. Is it? Looks like a deer print there though. Is that deer or badger? Somebody'll know. It's weird, there's a few of them. Ah, here Bob. I don't know, it could be. The deer prints, aren't they? I've just found a wiry black hair, red hair, white hair. Oh my God, white hair. I thought that was going to be a badger then, but it does look like they're deer prints, aren't they? I wonder what they are. Scrapings then. Must be marking its territory. I don't know. If you do know, leave us a comment. I'm a YouTuber now. Now this here is a geum. Same family as the one that grows in your garden, but this is the wild one. I found out the other day that it's the roots on that. People dig them up and the roots have a clovey flavour. So before we had spices in the UK, and apparently it has the same effect on toothache and stuff. The clove, you know, you put oil of clove on your toothache. The roots of this, if you wash them properly, they've got that same cloviness in them. And I've just found right to the side of it there, just look when you go down and have a look, little tiny bluebells starting to come through. And this is couch grass. This is the one that spreads all over. See, it's got a broader leaf than the one that's in your lawn. So it's a pain when you get that in your lawn because nothing can get rid of it without digging it up, because it spreads by roots. Oh, here's some more bluebells, Bob. See them? Spring is here. Oh, a carpet of them here. A jogger and a bike. Two of Norman's faves. That's how big that little seedling we saw will grow into. That's one of last year's roots. So you can see they die completely in winter, and then they have to start again from seed. This is Himalayan balsam again. Norman loves ripping them to pieces. Here, Norman. No. Show him what you do to Himalayan balsam. Come here. Yeah, it's an owl box, Bob. And it's had a nest in it too. Blooming great big screw there.
Stainless screws on me over it together.
Oh, then.
It's video.
Is it? Oh, this is a shame. They put stainless screws in, but the wood's rotted. But it obviously has had a nest in. And if you look in here, Bob, it's even got Himalayan balsam growing in it now. They get everywhere.
It's all this white.
All this is Himalayan balsam, yeah. And I just noticed this here, Bob. This is something I want to talk about. Oh, it's full of scarlet elf cups as well. See that big cluster down there?
Yeah.
Thing is about these, about piles of wood and deep sort of stuff like this, it's ideal for hedgehogs to sleep in. So be really careful at this time of year with a rake, a fork, and worst of all, a strimmer, because I've heard just recently that some of the hedgehogs are still sort of waking up and they're getting, they've got through the winter and then they're getting damaged, severely damaged or even critically damaged, with people not thinking. So just be mindful that there could be hedgehogs still asleep under there. And I just noticed this flower coming up here. Look at that big root. Now I do know what this is. I can't remember at the moment, but I will put the name underneath. It grows about this size, like a pink flower. Lovely. And Himalayan balsam. The scarlet elf cup's all the way up here. Hey, you Norman! Norman! It's alright. He's not even seen it yet. Oh, a wall of fur. Ah, he's nicked your stick! Come on, he wants you to chase him! He's eating your stick, Norman. Oh! Hey? Yeah, what is it? Oh, it's so red, is it? Ah. Norman doesn't know he's only that big. This is playing. Size of it. Oh. No spatial awareness. She's lovely. Is she? There we go. Scarlet elf cups. There's not many fungi out in February, March, and this is one of them. I think they're edible. I'm 99% certain they're edible, but obviously they grow on dead wood. But they're beautiful, aren't they? And it just shows you, if you don't look, you don't see. All right. How do I get in them? Somebody has put a brand new, very expensive, it's got treads on it and everything. Obviously health and safety. They must have to go down here for some reason to check that bridge or culvert. So they've put a bridge up, a set of steps. If you look here, Bob, you cannot go down. They've got a padlock on, but you can come up. Norman, come on up. Come on. Now, one word for me does what he wants. So you can come up them, but you can't go down. But if you look down there, where Norman is again, the steps go down again to the, must be this culvert that goes underneath the canal that needs to be inspected.
Probably.
And health and safety. I am doing. Because we're not allowed to go down them steps. Oh, we're not allowed to go down here either, Bob. So Magic can't go down but can come up steps. This is obviously a river that used to be flowing here before canal, and they've had to put a culvert in. You know, don't go in. Stop it. Don't lose force. Fell in. Look at this bedrock. Can you imagine seeing dinosaurs' footprints in this, can't you, Bob? What? It's a great big lump of metal. Look at that. Oh look, it's a car. There's a track rod end, or whatever they call it. It's obviously a 19 something car. Here we go, Bob. This is that hemlock again. That's hemlock. It grows everywhere, deadly poisonous. But look at that lovely bottom to that river. It's completely stone. Oh, that smells. Just rotten wood. Look at that, Bob. Great big beach floating in midair, and another one there. But all the, look at that stone and layers of stone it's rooted into. Same with that one. And then there's stone all the way down to here, all the way down to stream bottom. And then here, obviously, a million years ago, Bob, this was a load of mud, a mud flat. Oh, look here! You've actually got the ripples that you get on a sandy beach. There's a culvert here, and then it goes down to a waterfall. Well, that looks like it was an old bridge with a top on it. Then they put another one on it. Then they filled it in again and put a road on it. That's some age, isn't it? And it's even got a wall at the bottom here. Amazing. That's the road to golf club. Oh, what's that we found, Bob? It's obviously had a lot of water go down it. It must be like an overflow. You can see it's been piling in there. Look at it, it's washed all roots away.
Can't see anything.
Can't see now. I like finding old bricks. See if they've got any names on them. Oh, it has. Withnell. Look at that. A Withnell brick. 1912 terracotta. So, over 100 years old, just lied there with still good writing on it. We'll have to start a brick collection, Bob. You can carry them back. Here comes Billy Whiz. Ooh, it's slippy, that rock. We need to go looking in these woods, Bob, because in a few months when it's full of Himalayan balsam over my head, you'll not see anything. Where you'll see stuff at this time of year. Canada's looking for somewhere to nest. The twicker painting season is starting. We soon have loads of little baby Canadas. There's hundreds round here now. Give us that stick, Norman. Lovely reflections at water. Very idyllic. And that's Bob. Oh, look at this, Bob. What's this thing you dug up? Molehill. I bet it'd be good. We could find stuff in molehills besides glass.
Cannonballs, swords.
Money, gold rings, a note.
Balls.
Here we go, we're back at Bridge 63, and this obviously is sandstone, and there was pebbles in it, and the sand's all eroded away, and the pebbles have stayed. Even some of the pebbles have hollowed out. That's how long this bridge has been here. There's your rope burns, but they've obviously put proper strong brick in. What they call this, Accrington brick, is it? Engineering brick, and even that's been sawn through. But we think that was in the olden days, there used to be a wooden roller there to protect it, but it's obviously gone, and they've hammered it in with a bit of lead. But just look at the face of that brick. Sorry, not brick, stone. Anyway, if you've watched it this far, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you again. Don't forget to, whatever they say, ding the bell, subscribe, and all the other stuff they say. Interesting fact. Hiya, alright. Second flower of the year. A little daisy, and Nom's going to eat it. Little daisy. Is that coal? There you go. We have to have a piece of coal on while we're in Wigan.